let's get into it. Let's look into the odds jam. This is the first game on the card, Pittsburgh and Atlanta. All right, we're going to be fading Pittsburgh in this game. No official play. I wanted to almost take the no runs first inning in this game. I wanted to take the Braves on the money line. If you want to add the Braves to your mix in a money line parlay, great dance partner today. I just don't have them as a best bet, but I probably will have some Braves action, some form or fashion. I think when we look in this matchup, you can see kind of what we're looking at within, fading Pittsburgh on the road. I think Atlanta's waking up a little bit, but here we get a very interesting spot within Bailey Falter. I think we're going to see a little bit more regression, and I'm not really fading Spencer Swallenbach. I really liked his last outing, if I remember correctly, and this is something where I like the Braves in the spot. All right, but like I said, parlay, dance partner, or nothing, unless you want to go, lay all that $1.64, which I'm not really in the business of doing by itself. So next game is the Miami Marlins and the Philadelphia Phillies. We'll skip over that Padres game. We have Yanni Chirinos going against Ranger Suarez. Now, a lot of you guys were getting on me about my system play within taking the Phillies, down Harper, down Schwarber, all that good stuff. I don't really care. That's just kind of how I am. That's how I handicap things. It doesn't really matter sometimes to me. I did kind of a more rant on that yesterday with how much each player's worth to the number. But within this game, I'm going to take a Ranger Suarez 10-2, 2.01 ERA, especially in a game where they need to bounce back and get a win. I do like this game to be under 8.5, though. We're going to kind of piggyback off of yesterday and kind of that same narrative that they are going to be out. You do look for lesser of an offensive output. I think this is where we're going to see it here today. The only thing about this I don't like betting in terms of taking the under, and the only thing that keeps me away is it is that kind of like getaway game. I know they just stay on the East Coast basically, but this is where I really see some huge value on the under. The betting splits are also backing that up. So I'm taking under 8.5 minus 112. We're probably going to have some more, action in this than other games too. But I look for Suarez to shut the door on the Marlins. And, Yanni Chirinos, 2.7 ERA, not necessarily something that, to bank on, but I think he can get it done. And this may be a one-sided affair, which would probably lend its way towards taking the Phillies on the run line. 250 is a little bit too high for a money line play, but we will be taking the under 8.5. I think that's where the good value is in this bet as my first official play. All right, San Diego and Boston. I kind of skipped over that one. No play for me. We do look into this. We have the likes of Matt Waldron and Josh Winkowski. I'm going to stay away from this game. The Padres have been putting up some serious numbers offensively. Kind of an outlier, I guess you would say it. 11-1 winning at Boston. Then they won 9-2 at Boston, winning 8-5, 9-7 against the Nationals. They have been scoring a ton of runs. So I would love for a certain pitcher for the Padres to be playing so that we could maybe target the over. I just worry about this becoming kind of more of a like a 5-4 game, something like that, something in that ballpark, and we don't hit that 10. I really don't like laying 10 for overs, but usually those numbers are set that high for a reason. So my play in this game would be the over or nothing, okay? But no official play. Next one up is the Yankees and Blue Jays. Why not? Let's go after it. We're going to fade Garrett Cole in this spot. I'm not liking his stuff. It's just a little bit less of what we can expect. I know Kevin Gossman's kind of a mixed bag in terms of what he can deliver. 6-6 on the season, 4.26 ERA. But I do like Toronto. For some reason, they were on a huge losing streak. I think they lost 9 out of 10, and then all of a sudden they caught fire. So I do see some value in taking the Blue Jays at home, plus 111 on the money line. We're just going to straight fade the Yankees. I think that they can kind of navigate that lineup. And I think as long as Toronto can score a little bit of runs offensively, I think we could be in a good spot here. This number is creeping down a little bit, so we are seeing a lot of action on the Blue Jays. It'll be interesting to see what happens, but there is a lot of the betting splits favoring the Yankees. You're getting the Yankees at a discount, so all you Yankees bettors out there, that does not happen, quite frankly, with how much of a public play they are day in and day out. But losing 9-3, winning 16-5. This game really could be a coin flip, but Toronto has taken 2 of 3 thus far. Let's look for them to potentially get to Garrett Cole and kind of this drained bullpen as we look for this divisional game to conclude the weekend series. Give me Toronto plus 111 on the money line. All right, next one up, we are going to go into the likes of the Houston Astros and the New York Mets. This one's kind of interesting for me because we're going to take a flyer on this one. One of the best plays I do like, but I'm not going to bet it because I don't want to make it kind of ruin my action in terms of value. But the over 8.5 minus 120, you can take in this market. You got to remember something that when Severino was pitching in the American leagues, very familiar face for the Houston Astros. A lot of these guys, they've seen his junk, they've seen his stuff. And I think it's something where they can get to him. Sean Dubin going for the Astros. They are going to staff this game, I believe. So they're going to be rolling out a ton of relievers. That's why I'm a little bit leery as well as taking the over because sometimes that can be effective and you can have a low-scoring ball game. But I think plus 140 for the Astros is just too much to pass up. So this is something where, if you just want to do a sprinkle on it, you just want to go after it. I just think it's something where within a value play, I can't ignore this. I know they're playing the Mets, the hottest team in baseball, yada, yada, yada. The list goes on and on and on. But I just can't turn down plus 140 for the Astros. So if I lose this bet, I'll die on the sword. But plus 140 for Houston, I'll take that all day. And it is Sunday, so twice on Sunday. So that is a best bet for me. All right. Next game out on the card, the Nationals and Tampa Bay. We are going to be betting a kind of interesting market here. Patrick Corbin, great record to the no runs first inning, as well as Taj Bradley. A lot of these pitchers, they blow up later in the games, but they get through that first inning. Tampa Bay as well is kind of a funky ballpark. So we're going to be taking kind of a different way of betting it. We're going to take the first inning draw. I looked at the numbers, and I can get first inning draw at minus 125. It's a little bit better value than taking the no runs first inning because if we do get a 1-1, 2-2, we will cash that ticket as well. So let's get Washington first inning draw minus 125 as my third play of the day. Okay. Actually, I think we've already gotten to. I believe that's been 4 plays thus far. So we got a couple more out there. So guys, stay with me here. Let's get into the next game. We're going to be looking into Colorado and Chicago. No play for me. This is something where we look into the game, and you can talk about Garrett Crochet, kind of one of the shining lights for the White Sox. 130 strikeouts, guys. That's fascinating. He has to be up there with the major league leaders. For me, it's going to be White Sox or nothing, but I'm not going to bet. I'm not going to waste my Sunday betting on 2 teams that are 20-win teams here at this point in the season. This is kind of a weird spot for the Rockies, and what they're going to be able to do, who knows? But this is a great time to possibly bet the White Sox. However, I don't think at any point of this season I'm going to be having any interest in laying $1.65 in taking the White Sox on the money line. So this is a clear-cut pass for me. If you want to get into some prop markets, fine, but I'm staying away from this game. All right, Cleveland and Kansas City. This one was a game that I really wanted to find on my card, but I looked into some numbers. I ended up staying away. Seth Lugo, last time he pitched out against Cleveland, they absolutely rocked him. And Logan Allen is kind of one of those at these stages, within his outings, you just don't know what you're going to get. Recently in June, outstanding though, 6 innings pitched. He's given up basically, respectively, a 5-4, 2-2, and a shutout last time out. Okay, I'm sorry. That's Seth Lugo, my fault. In June, Logan Allen. I was going to say Seth Lugo hasn't been pitching that well. I'm sorry, Logan Allen hasn't been pitching that well. Respectively, 2 earned runs, 2, 1, 3, and 6 earned runs in the month of June. Last inning against Baltimore, he got kind of taken for a ride. 9 hits, 3 innings pitched. So after a poor performance where hitters are batting about 300 against Logan Allen, I also look for just the sole fact that it's kind of crazy. He has an 8-3 record, but hitters are getting to him. So he's getting a lot of offensive support. And against a pitcher like Seth Lugo, last time and the only time he pitched against the Indians, that was back on June 4th. So just in this month, and he gave up 5 earned, 2 bombs, 6 hits through 6 innings pitched. So that was where they were able to get to him. They had his number. I know he's been pitching fantastic, all right, but it has been against the Marlins and Oakland in his last 2 outings. The other 3 starts in June and was Cleveland, New York, and the Dodgers. And he gave up, 6, 8, 6 hits respectively, 5, 4, and 2 runs. So this game is screaming over for me. But I just don't trust Kansas City's lineup this far at this point in the season. And I really wanted to take the over as well as taking the Cleveland money line, but plus 120 in a divisional spot. I really like that, but I'm going to stay away and be safe just because I don't know what we're going to get from the pitching standpoint. This could be a low-scoring, grinded-out kind of game, or this could be Logan Allen doesn't make it 3 innings and Seth Lugo dominates, and we just don't know what score we're gonna end up on. So I cross this one off, staying away. All right, and then we are gonna get into another game that I do have an official play in. This will be the Cubs and Brewers. All right, we are gonna kind of go back to the well on this one. Believe it or not, I do like this spot. I really like this as a no runs first inning bet as well. So taking the Cubbies and the Brew Crew minus 117, no runs first inning. No real analysis needed. Surprisingly, the Cubs have been a very good, despite the lack of somewhat of a, I guess you'd say, kind of a weird starting rotation, but despite the lack of their bullpen, you take Cubs on the full game, you can get away from that and take them on the no runs first inning market, where they've been quite profitable throughout the season. And you look at Kyle Hendricks, 1-5, 6.87 ERA. It just looks like he gets blown up every time he takes the mound, but he's actually been pretty good to the no run first inning plays. And Freddie Peralta as well. I do like him just to run it up there for 3 outs and let's get on our way. So no runs first inning, Cubs and Brew Crew. All right. Then we will get into kind of the St. Louis Reds game. Hunter Green, Lance Lynn. Great matchup for this divisional game. I'm not going to be playing this one. Quite frankly, these are 2 of the hardest teams to handicap. They run hot, they run cold, they run hot, they run cold. And Lance Lynn is in that category as well. So look for this game. If you want to get into some Hunter Green strikeout props, that's something you can get involved with. But I think the odds makers agree. Plus 100 on both sides of the money line. So this is definitely a stay away game for me. Just a dead coin flip. No real edge on either side to be had. So I'm going to stay away. All right. Then we have the Dodgers and Giants, which we're going to skip over because we do have an official play. So let's get into the Tigers Angels. This is another game. This is crossed off the list. Casey Mize, Tyler Anderson, plus 100, plus 100. Best numbers out there. Another coin flip game. I usually look at these games, and if it's a coin flip game, unless it's something where you have an edge, it's something where I definitely stay away. I cross these games off because you may as well just bet red, black, flip a coin. There's no real way to handicap these even money games. Quite frankly, that's just my 2 cents. If you say you know what you're talking about and you get it wrong, it's just because it's a 50-50 shot. I don't think there's any handicappers out there, odds makers alike, that could really tell you who's going to win this game between Detroit and the Angels. And that's kind of why we're seeing plus 100s in the market. So if you had to force me to bet this game, I would be taking Tyler Anderson for the Angels. I just don't trust either one of these teams to score runs, so kind of why I'm staying away as well. All right, then we will get into Oakland and Arizona. Joe Ryan, Luis Castillo, that's a great game for them. We saw the Twins able to get that game last night. Kind of was leaning towards taking Seattle in that contest, but if we look a little deeper in this game, it's another one where it's a dead coin flip. I personally would lean towards taking the Twins. Just my 2 cents, but both of these pitchers are eerily similar when it comes to statistics, how they pitch, how they go after hitters. So it's got to be kind of who wants to hit the baseball, and I trust the Twins at this point just a little bit better. So it's Twins or nothing, but no official play. All right, Athletics and Diamondbacks, Luis Medina and Brandon Pfaadt. Good luck with this one. Oakland plus 174 on the money line. I don't trust any one of these teams, and I'm not going to lay $1.74 with the Diamondbacks at this point. It's just kind of a weird spot. I don't see any reason why you have to play this game. There's so many better bets out there in the market, so this one got crossed off my list as well. Okay, and then the last game before I get to my final official play will be the Baltimore Orioles and Texas Rangers. Andrew Heaney going against Cole Irvin. Do want to segue into a little bit of futures play, possibly looking into adding to my position within taking the Orioles, to bring home some hardware. I think they're going to be buyers at the trade deadline. I think they're going to be able to acquire a good arm. Would be something, man, if they could just absolutely deal, because they have duplicates in their farm system in a lot of positions. It would be absolutely fantastic. I mean, I'm rooting for the Orioles. I like the kids they got on their team. I like a lot of things about their organization in terms of just who's there. Great people that's involved in that building. But if you look into the Orioles, I think that if they can make a move for, like, say, a Tark Skubal and give them half their farm system, I think that would really, really kind of shape them up. They're just like one pitcher away, one pitcher and maybe one reliever from really having a absolute contending team, if not a one of the favorites to contend when we get into September. So that's where I'm at within that. I'm not going to have a play officially for this one, but I do like Baltimore in this spot. Minus 141 is kind of a lot, but I probably will end up putting them alongside the Braves and maybe some other teams in one of my fun coupons. Do a little parlay lottery ticket on this Sunday. But we will do kind of, like I said, add to the Baltimore futures position, because I think this is something where as we get closer to the All-Star break, you start hearing rumblings. The market's going to catch up, and I think that right now the Orioles are still too low in that futures perspective. So taking them doesn't mean necessarily that they have to win it either. You open up a pretty substantial futures position on them, you get closer to sorting itself out, and then you can give yourself some hedging opportunity to lock in profit. And that's why I love futures. I know nobody wants to tie up their money. It's not sexy for a long period of time. But it is something where it's very, very rewarding if you do it right. So that's where I'm at within that game. It's Orioles money line or nothing. Great dance partner with the Braves, but I'm not going to be betting that, or I'm not going to use that as official play. I may bet that in some form or fashion. All right, and then the last game in final official play is we're going to do it. James Paxton has been absolutely fantastic in terms of getting wins. That's all we care about right now is wins, and I'm going to bet this one pretty quickly. Because right now you get a minus 122 price for the Dodgers. This is where you face a Giants team where, the Dodgers can explode on any given night. So whenever you get them below $1.50, that's just a value play. Couple that with the likes of James Paxton, who, like I said, 7-1 on the season. I'll take that, and that's something that we're going to lock in purely on value. And we'll see what happens within the Giants and who they wheel out there. But give me 122 on the money line for the Dodgers all day and on this Sunday. All right, so here's a recap. These are my official plays. Toronto on the money line, Philly under 8.5, Washington first inning draw, Cubs no run first inning, Houston money line plus 140. Also, we are going to lean towards that over 8.5. Like I said, plus 140 is kind of a home run. So when it comes to betting daily baseball, so if you don't want to lay a full unit, half units aren't a bad move either when you have an opportunity to make plus 140 out there. Like I said, lean towards the over 8.5 as well. And then the last game will be that minus 122 Dodgers money line play. So those are my best bets. That's what I'll be involved with today. Good luck to anybody who has any golf tickets open, Rocket Mortgage and things concluding. That's a shootout down there in Detroit. We will have baseball on all day. And as we kind of get into this, new era, getting used to no hockey, no basketball. It's just basically golf, UFC, a little bit of soccer going on today. So good luck with all your bets. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching. If you do want to do me a solid, make sure you guys subscribe down below and check us out on Discord. All right, and follow me on X, all that good stuff. But appreciate you guys. Good luck. Let's go cash some tickets, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Cheers.